وثمرة فؤادي فقال لي يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله. فقلت نعم إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جدة، السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. فقلت نعم ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصيي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. الله. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بضعتي قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. اللهم صل. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ بي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم، فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا رب ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. الله. فقال جبرائيل يا رب أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله همه ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
For the health and blessings for uncle, please recite aloud Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So I'll request Brother Kazim for the Marsiya, for the Shahadat of Imam Musa Ibn Jaffar, alayhi salatu wassalam. Please recite on him a loud salawat. Allah.
بحق محمد و آل محمد بلندتر صلوات. اہل بیت علیہ الصلوۃ والسلام کے دشمنوں پہ لعنت. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. خانہ زہرا میں ہائے آج پھر کوہرام ہے. خانہ زہرا میں ہائے آج پھر کوہرام ہے. چل بسا بیٹا علی کا موسیٰ کاظم نام ہے. خانہ زہرا میں ہائے آج پھر کوہرام ہے. پل پہ رکھا ہے جنازہ بیڑیا پیروں میں ہے. پل پہ رکھا ہے جنازہ بیڑیا پیروں میں ہے. مر کے بھی ہے قید میں بے کس ہے تشنا گام ہے. مر کے بھی ہے قید میں بے کسی ہے تشنا گام ہے. لائے ہیں مزدور میت کوئی اپنا بھی نہیں. لائے ہیں مزدور میت کوئی اپنا بھی نہیں. ہے پسر مشہد میں دختر کم میں خود گمنام ہے. ہے پسر مشہد میں دختر کم میں خود گمنام ہے. خانہ زہرا میں ہائے آج پھر کوہرام ہے. ہے جوانی قید میں اور قید میں پیری بھی ہے. ہے جوانی قید میں اور قید میں پیری بھی ہے. قید میں گزری ہے صبح و قید میں ہی شام ہے. قید میں گزری ہے صبح و قید میں ہی شام ہے. لاش پر آئی ہے زہرا پوچھتی ہیں ایک سوال لاش پر آئی ہے زہرا پوچھتی ہے ایک سوال کہ کیا گناہ اس کا مسلمانوں ہے کیا الزام ہے کیا گناہ اس کا مسلمانوں ہے کیا الزام ہے خانہ زہرا میں ہائے آج پھر کوہرام ہے ہائے غربت میں کیا ہے زہر سے اس کو شہید ہائے غربت میں کیا ہے زہر سے اس کو شہید آل احمد سے اردو کا کیسا انتقام ہے آل احمد سے اردو کا کیسا انتقام ہے قید میں موسیٰ نے کی سجاد کی سنت ادا قید میں موسیٰ نے کی سجاد کی سنت ادا ایک اسیر کاظم اور ایک اسیر شام ہے ایک اسیر کاظم اور ایک اسیر شام ہے وہی باب الہوائے جس کا کاظم ہے لقب ہے وہی باب الہوائے جس کا کاظم ہے لقب یہ انیس ان کا ہے نوکر خوب یہ انعام ہے خانہ زینب میں ہائے آج پھر کوہرام ہے اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد
صلی علی محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Please recite another loud salawat on Musa Ibn Jaffar alayhi salatu wassalam. Now I'll request Sayyid Almodarresi for the majlis for tonight. Please recite a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلائق أجمعين حبيبنا وسيدنا المصطفى الأمين بالقاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الغر الميامين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين مهدي هذه الأمة وخاتم الأئمة وطاووس أهل الجنة الحجة بن الحسن العسكري روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. السلام على المعذب في قعر السجون وظلم المطامير ذي الساق المرضوض بحلق القيود والجنازة المنادى عليها بذل الاستخفاف. My condolences goes first to our Master Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman Ajallah Ta'ala Farajah Sharif, and you, brother and sister, for the martyrdom of Bab al-Hawa'ij, Al-Kadhim, Musa, Al-Imam Al-Muhtasib Al-Sabir, Al-Imam Al-Kareem, Al-Imam Al-Ra'uf, أبا الحسن صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. Nowadays in Iraq, there is a small Arba'een like going on. Not on the scale of Arba'een, like an international scale of the worldly, the whole world is changing, but on a smaller scale, but nevertheless, a great visitation and a ziyarah is going on today to visit the shrine, the mausoleum of Musa Ibn Jaffar alayhi salam and his grandson Imam Muhammad Ibn Ali al-Jawad salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. Every time we hear the name of Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam, I'm like this, I don't know, maybe a lot of you brothers and sisters, we remember our Hawa'ij. It's one of his titles is Bab al-Hawa'ij, the gate, the door for which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you asked by, if it's knocked, that door will be open and your prayers will be answered. That's not a bad thing, but sometimes it's good to remind ourselves about the Imam himself, and let's forget our hawa'ij, let's forget our wishes, let's forget our problems, and just love the Imam and commemorate the Imam salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi without needing something in return, without asking something in return. I think it will be much sweeter and much more beautiful, and you feel the love of Imam salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi even more. You know, sometimes a person loves his father and his mother, right? For them being the, what they provide. But sometimes no. Like here tonight, we are as well remembering a loving mother that passed away, and it's her anniversary, of our dear brother Sayyid Ali. Like, he doesn't maybe now love her because she's giving him something. This is now a more pure love. Love her, for what she was. And sometimes we need to do that in terms of Imam. When we go to the visitation, when we go to the Imams, at least once in our lifetime, not go and ask something, but actually go and feel the love of Imam salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, and seek nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the Imam al-Kadhim salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Unfortunately, usually, we do not celebrate the birth of Imam al-Kadhim. It's not been celebrated. Even though some countries, some people, because it falls in Safar, in the month of Safar, and the month of Safar, of course, people are busy with mourning Sayyid al-Shuhada salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, and greater than Sayyid al-Shuhada, Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. So therefore, they are preoccupied with the matters in regard of celebrating the Imam. And a lot of people are actually ignorant to this fact that it's the birth, the 7th of Safar is the birth of Imam. Some people know, actually for one day and one day only, they take out their black clothings and they dress in white or any other color for one day, to celebrate the birth of Imam sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But anyways, it overshadows, Muharram al-Safar overshadows any celebration and any happy occasions. So therefore, we either remember Imam when we have a hajat or on the day of his martyrdom. That's the only usually occasion that we remember our Imam sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we painted this picture in our mind about the life of Imam salawatullahi wa salam alayhi is this helpless prisoner in a prison of the tyrant. And that's a wrong picture, brothers and sisters. First of all, we see that Imam lived for 55 years. And 35 of those years was the term and the time of his imamah, salawatullahi wa salam alayhi. You can leave him alone, that's all right, he's not disturbing me. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. تريد تقعد عمو هنا؟ تريد تقعد؟ When Imam al-Sadiq was about to pass away and join Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, you know, those Abbasis, they came with a wrong claim. They claimed they want to avenge the blood and the death of Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa sallam alayhim ajma'in, and they want to bring back the rule back to Bani Hashim and to the descendant of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But what they were doing, they had an alternative motive. And you know, the first one, their first Khalifa, so-called Khalifa, was called Abu Abbas al-Saffah. He's called Abu Abbas al-Saffah. His title, it's a title that we Shia didn't give to him. It's a title that he and the people gave to this person. Alaykum as-salam. What Safah means? Safah is murder, butcher. That's the amount of people that he killed and butchered to have this title. And usually people don't kill just one person to get that title. No, they kill a lot. And still to this day, they call him Abu Abbas al-Saffah, and not just by us. So after, you know, it was a time of turmoil, there was revolution going on, And Imam al-Sadiq had the chance for that period to spread the knowledge of Ahl Bayt salawatullah salam alayhim ajma'in. Someone said that I passed the mosque of Kufa and heard and saw 900 people saying حدثنا جعفر بن محمد الصادق عليه السلام. So Imam al-Sadiq was revered by the Shia. And of course, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur al-Dawaniqi, he saw there's no way but to eliminate the Imam. When he poisoned the Imam, he said, when he passes away, kill whoever, behead whoever he appoints as the Imam. Imam, having the knowledge of the divine, he gave the wasiyah, the recommended 5 people for imamah. One being Abu Ja'far al-Mansur himself. The other one was Muhammad ibn Salman, the one who brought the news to Mansur about the death of Imam Salamullah alayhi. The third was Hamida, his own wife. The fourth was Al-Aftah, Abdullah al-Aftah, his son. And the fifth was Musa Ibn Jaffar salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. So the Shia, of course, they knew that those two first names, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur and Muhammad ibn Salman, are in regard of taqiyya. Third, his wife, a woman cannot be imam. Fourth, Aftah, he has a disability. An imam is perfect in every sense and in every way. And the fifth is Musa al-Kadhim salawatullahi wa salam alayhi. Say they knew that the Imam salawatullahi wa salam alayhi is the one who they need to follow. Besides Abdullah al-Aftah, they had this group, they gone extinct, called Fatahiyya. Those people, of course, a lot of them, they came back and said, like, it was Imam recommended him. He's the son of Imam and Imam recommended him. But he died after the passing away of Imam by 70 days and he didn't have any children. So the people knew that the Imam Musa al-Kadhim is the Imam and the 7th Imam after Imam al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salam alayhi. So here comes the dilemma of the Imam. That from the get-go, from the start, they needed to eliminate the Imam. They wanted to put an end to the Imamah of the Shia, because they had a problem with the Alawis. On one hand, they had the revolution under the banner of Hassanis. And on the other hand, they had the Imamah and the knowledge and Hujjatullah in the Hussainis. So, of course, they are both Hassanin and Hussaini. I explained that before. What happened is, there was another revolution going on. At the time, after Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, he went to hell, inshallah. His successor, or the successor after him, if I'm not mistaken, his name was Musa al-Hadi. There was another revolution by the hand, by the leadership of someone called Husayn ibn Ali ibn al-Hasan ibn al-Hasan ibn Hasan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. And they revolted in Mecca, and a lot of people followed him, but the revolt was crushed. And Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam says in this regard that after the incident of Karbala, the Taf, we don't have any greater calamity for Ahl al-Bayt other than Al-Husayn ibn Ali Sahibu Fakh, the one in the place of Fakh. It's in Mecca. So they killed him on the day of Tarwiyah, which is the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. 8th of Dhul Hijjah, before the Hajj, start of the Hajj. Tarwiyah is what? When the people gather water to take with themselves in that desert of Arafat and Muzdalifah and Mina. And he was beheaded. They have no sanctity to the place that Allah, and that is a proof as well that Imam Hussein salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, if he stayed in Mecca in Masjid al-Haram, he would have been butchered and killed as well over there. And the proof is what they did after. So what they did as well is to take the head of the Hussein ibn Ali ibn al-Hasan, and they captured whoever they can capture. Among them as well was someone by the name Abdullah al-Shahid ibn Ali ibn Zayn al-Abidin salamullah alayhi. They imprisoned him for a long while until in the house of Ja'far al-Barmaki. Ja'far ibn Yahya al-Barmaki was really close to Bayn al-Abbas and Harun al-Rashid. And on the day of Nowruz, they celebrating, they were Persians, Baramika were Persians. On the day of Nowruz, he saw that it's the best day to kill Abdullah al-Shahid. So he beheaded him, put his head on a golden plate and covered it and sent it as a gift to Harun al-Rashid. Of course, he got what he deserved after Harun al-Rashid removed the Baramika, and the one who was about to kill him, he said, "Why are you killing me for?" He said, "For what you did to the cousin of Harun al-Rashid." And he was beheaded. So in that term, they put the biggest pressure on Alawis in general. Harun al-Rashid, that this person who they, still to the day, some people call Baghdad al-Rashid. And of course, we call it Baghdad Musa Ibn Jaffar alayhi salam. And this person, people like conquerors. People like tyrants. Doesn't matter what they do. And they have this, some people have that kind of mentality. They say, no, he was Wali al-Amr. What's happening in the land of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a proof of that. They don't care. They bring singers, they bring now opening a liquor shop, they do all these things, and the people still call them Wali al-Muslimin, Wali Amr al-Muslimin. Anyway, with Harun, you need to know his personality, what kind of person he is as well. Bani al-Abbas are as bad, not maybe even worse than Bani Umayyah. So there's a book was compiled by a historian, a known historian. This historian called Abu al-Faraj al-Isfahani. He's a historian, man. And he's a descendant of Bani Umayyah. And some say from Harun ibn Abdul Malik, Marwan ibn Abdul Malik. Some say from Marwan al-Himar, the last so-called Khalifa. But anyway, he was Amawi. So some people, when they accused him of being Shias, some other people said, how can that be? He's the opposite side of the Alawis and the Shia. So when he says something, he's definitely not one of them. So he compiled a book in regard of Harun al-Rashid and in regard of the history of the Abbasis. There's two famous books, one called Aghani, which translates means songs, and the other Maqatil al-Talibiyin, the killing of the Talibis, whoever descended of Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, and Abu Talib. And the reason behind he called the book Al-Aghani, because in the beginning of the book, imagine, compiling about Khalifatu Rasulillah, the inheritor of the position of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. So he's talking about him. And what he's put, he said that Ibrahim al-Musali, Harun Rashid told him to bring me the best songs. So he put more than 100 songs together and gifted that to Harun Rashid. And even more, they put it in it. Is that Khalifatul Muslimin? You know, they adorn, they beautify what Harun Rashid was doing. On the other hand, you see the atrocities that they are committed in the name of Islam. In the name of Islam. You do it yourself. Don't bring Islam into this. You're giving a bad rep to Islam. Still to this day. When the Orientalists, when the Western speak and talk about Islam, they bring Harun Rashid always, all the time. And they bring as well one Arabian Nights, 1,000 Nights in Arabic, Alf Layla wa Layla, in that regard, of what this person was doing. He had 200 women in his palace. 200. And they say that this is Khalifatul Muslimin. Imam Salamullahi alayh, they expose the tyranny and they expose the falsehood. One of their duties as an Imam to show the people the right path. And that path is wrong. So what they were exposing Bani al-Abbas as much as they were exposing Bani Umayyah. And even Bani Abbas, they exposed themselves by their own hands for what they did to Al-Talibis. They said they had this prison called Al-Matbaq. And they imprisoned the Alawis, the Talibis. And whoever dies there, they don't bury him. Let him rot there. Decompose there. And after everyone died, they just demolished the whole prison on top of their head. And that in the book of Baqat al-Talibin, been written by Abu al-Faraj al-Asbahani, al-Amawi. So the Imam salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, when Harun Rashid came to power, of course, he came to power after his own brother was killed by his own mother. So the mother of Harun, because she saw that, I think his name was Muhammad al-Mahdi, if I'm not mistaken, his mother Khayzaran, she poisoned him. And he didn't die from poison, so she smothered him with his own pillow and sat on his face. Imagine. These are Bani Umayyads, Bani Abbas. So this person, he needed this to show himself as, one year he conquers and 1 year he goes to Hajj. So while going to Hajj, of course, they need to visit Medina and the shrine of Al-Imam Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. So this governor was calling upon the people, the Hashemite, all the tribes to come and greet Harun. Imam Salamullah alayhi came on a mule. So the governor said, "What kind of mount is this? If you want, we can give you a horse, an Arabian horse." He said, "No. The mule is lower than the loftiness of a horse and is above the manners of the donkey. And khayrul umur awsatuha. And the best of matters is like the middle." They said even Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa sallam in war used to ride a mule. He said, "Why?" He said, "I don't chase someone who escapes me. And I don't flee someone who's chasing me. So I don't need of a fast horse." So he came and went to the house of Imam Al-Kadhim salamullah alayhi, and he starts talking to Imam salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Stayed there a while. His own son, Ma'mun, says this. Says, "How come I know about the Shia more than the others?" Of course, him being smart and being literally a bastard. He said to his group of people, said one night, We were there, me and my brother Amin, and someone came. All of a sudden, my father got up from his place. And he went to him and greeted him and kissed him between his eyes and put him on his place that he was sitting. And so he was speaking to him that, do you have any needs? Do you have any debt? What do you own? How many children do you have? Imam Al-Kadhim alayhi salam had many children, more than 30, they say, about 36. Which I'm going to get to that in a minute as well. And he said, do you have any debt so we can pay your debt and all that? He said, after he left and he told us, me and my son, go and until you accompany him to his house, a sign of respect. So when I came back, I said, who was this? He says, that Hujjatullah, Khalifatu Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. That is Musa Al-Kadhim. And he said, and he said to him, but aren't you like Khalifat Rasulullah? He said, I am with power. I'm the Imam of the people with power and with forcing people. But he is a true Imam. And said, then why don't you give him, like if he's more worthy of that position and of your position, why don't you give it? He said to him, sovereignty is barren. If you feud me in this regard to take my place, I will take what holds your eyes, so I will behead you, even though you are my son. The way that they oppressed the Imam, not just when he left this world, but with his sons and daughters, especially his daughters. No one even dared to approach and ask the hands of the daughters of Imam in marriage. Even not even their own cousins, because they knew whoever is close to this house will be punished. Doesn't matter. So when Imam one day in a majlis in Medina was sitting, Harun said once, let's go and visit Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he grabbed the hand of the Imam, he put the hand of Imam in his hand. And they walked with each other until they stood front of the grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then Harun said, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, Assalamu alayka ya ibn al-Am. Or greeting to Rasulullah and the greeting, O cousin. To show the people, to boast about that he is the descendant of who? Of Abbas, the uncle of the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And to show the people that, I'm from noble heritage and noble family. Imam Al-Kadhim immediately, he pulled his hands from the hand of Harun and said, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, Assalamu alayka ya Abatah. And the complexion of Harun all of a sudden changed. He said, yes, there is something you can be proud of. But then, what he did when he left, he sent after the Imam. There is a narration from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. من سن سنة حسنة فله أجرها وأجر من عمل بها ومن سن سنة سيئة فله وزرها ووزر من عمل بها. Whoever he puts a wrong tradition, he will get the sins of those who commits that tradition and do that. So whoever puts a good tradition, he will get the rewards from that good tradition. Harun was the first person, and there was in a series of expelling the Imams salawatullahi wa salam alayhim ajma'in. Most of the Imam Al-Kadhim was born in Al-Abwa between Mecca and Medina, but all the A'imma except for one Imam are born, and all the Ma'sumin except one are born in Hijaz. But just 6 of them are buried there, and the rest are scattered all over the world. So he called upon Imam to his palace, saying to the Imam, first of all, that how can 2 Amir al-Mu'mineen be in this world? Because a lot of people said that he wants your Khilafah and he wants to revolt against you. So he said to Imam, what's the purpose behind what you're claiming? A long conversation you can refer back to in the book of Hadith. But he said, what's the difference and why do you call yourself the descendant of Rasulullah, even though we are both from the uncles of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are both the descendants of Abdul Muttalib. So what's your claim here? Imam Salamullah alayhi started debating him in that manner. What the debates he will accept in regards of Quran? First of all, that Allah subhanahu, he said that, and you are, even if you're saying this, you are the descendant of Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. So the prophethood and the nobility, in that we are equal. He brought this verse, وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِهِ دَاوُودَ وَسُلَيْمَانَ وَأَيُّوبَ وَمُوسَى وَهَارُونَ وَكَذَلِكَ نُجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ وَزَكَرِيَّا وَيَحْيَا وَعِيسَى وَإِلْيَاسَ كُلًّا مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Said to Harun that, who's the father of Isa? Said he doesn't have a father. He didn't have a father. His father is, he doesn't have a father. His mother is Maryam. Said, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them all together in terms of prophethood? Said then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَمَنْ حَاجَكَ فِيهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنْ الْعِلْمِ فَقُلْ تَعَالُوا نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَنِسَاءَنَا وَنِسَاءَكُمْ وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he said, who took Imam Hassan and Hussein, Fatima Zahra and Ali ibn Abi Talib to that debate and the mubahala with the Christians of Najran? Of course, Imam Hassan and Hussein. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, once I remember, I had this discussion with someone, that he said, they are Sibta Rasulullah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself saying in Quran, Abna'ana, our son. So then, something else. If Rasulullah will be resurrected, and he asks you, hand of your daughter in marriage, will you marry him? He said, of course, and I will take pride in this. My daughter being married to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, how about me? Can I marry him, my daughter? He said, no. He said, why? Said, because you are descendant of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Then Harun Rashid was convinced and said, do you have any requests? He said, yes, take me back to the land of my ancestor, the land of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, inshallah khair. Instead, Imam, the first when he expelled the Imam Salamullah alayhi was under the darkness of night. Took him to Basra. He stayed there for a whole year. Those Bani Abbas had that tradition, as I mentioned in regard of Ja'far ibn Yahya al-Barmaki, to put the VIP prisoners within their midst, like either one of their family members or one of their ministers. So he gave the Imam to one of his family member in Basra, his governor there. After a while, he sent news to his governor to poison the Imam. He said, I will not do it. And if you don't come and take him from me, I will release him. I see the piety of the Imam salawatullahi wasalam alayhi. Everyone heard or read the narration regard of the imprisoned prostitute wal'ayadu billah, with the Imam salawatullahi wasalam alayhi. And Imam changed her. So after they sent the Imam to Baghdad, to someone by the name of Al-Fadl ibn Rabi'ah, and he was again a minister of Harun. For a long while, Harun comes and visits and enjoys seeing the Imam in prison. But one day he was with Fadl ibn Rabi'ah. He said, for a while I seen there's a cloth on that corner of your prison. What is that cloth? What's the story behind that cloth? He said, that's not a cloth. That's Musa Ibn Jaffar alayhi salam. He has a sujood, starts after the sunrise until the noon. And even Harun himself, Wallahi innahu min ruhbani bani Hashim. Truly, when you see the life of Imam filled with that calamities, with that hardship, but Imam is truly the deserving, the Imams all together, but they are truly deserving of their names and their titles. Even the Imam gods were saying that he's a Qadhim. He never prayed on us for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send his wrath upon us. Ali ibn Suwaid come and visit the Imam. And that's maybe one of the last hadith that Imam mentioned. So he said to Imam, Ya ibn Rasulullah, why don't you pray against those people? Why don't you do something? He said, I heard Rasulullah I heard from my father, from his father, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, in regard of the mu'min are like the scale, like a scale, right? More iman means more calamity. That's how he sees it, salawatullahi wa sallam alayhi. A calamity, he says, I'm in prison. But he thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that gave me the opportunity. I've been asking you, oh Lord, to give me the opportunity, to give me more time to worship you and devote myself to you. And you, Lord, granted my wishes. فَلَكَ الْحَمْدُ يَا Allah. Allahu Akbar. Change those calamities into opportunities. Imam salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, among the leadership, they say that Imam that was in prison and all that, his Shia would bribe and will send questions to them. They said one of the first books that it's been written by the Imam was the book of Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam. The name of the book, Al-Halali wal-Haram. They will ask him what's halal and what's haram, and that's been compiled into a book of Imam salawatullahi wa salam alayhi. Even in the prison. Even in that situation. When Imam salawatullahi wa salam alayhi teaches his companions, teaches his ashab, teaches us as people who claim to be his followers, claim to be the muhibbeen of Ahl Bayt salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, how to live and who to follow as well. Who to follow? Ahmad ibn Hanbal, the fourth Imam of the other school of thought, right? He says, سمعت عن موسى بن جعفر عن جعفر بن محمد عن محمد بن علي عن علي بن الحسين عن الحسين بن علي عن علي بن أبي طالب عن رسول الله عن الله جل وعلا. And if those chain of narration will just put on someone who's sick, he will be well. So even other school of thoughts, they had immense respect. How you respect someone who was in prison for about 14 years of his life? But no, Imam Salawatullah wa salam alayhi left students, left ashab, left Ahl al-Bayt. One of the truly beautiful narration of Imam Salawatullah wa salam alayhi gives you, of course that's, he narrates from Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Give you a map, gives you a guideline of who you need to follow. Imam Salamullah alayhi says, لا تجلسوا عند كل عالم يدعوكم إلا عالم يدعوكم من الخمس إلى الخمس. Don't sit with any scholar. He's a scholar. No. He needs to have 5 things, 5 qualities. Doesn't matter if he's a scholar. Doesn't matter if he's knowledgeable. One of which, يدعوكم من الشك إلى اليقين, brings you from doubt to certainty, not from certainty into doubt. Unfortunately, some people, a lot of mu'mineen are in certainty, but because he had more knowledge, he can manipulate, and he starts bringing doubt into people's minds. I'm certain for my iman. And we've seen this, not just this day and age, but even before. Some people come and use people's ignorance and start spreading these kind of lies. For example, like in Iraq, a lot of those people who claim to be the Yamani, Hassani, all these start popping up here and there like mushrooms. And people are following them. Why? Out of ignorance. Rasulullah puts a guideline. Imam al-Kadhim puts a guideline. Who you need to follow and who you need to avoid. So whoever has that quality, brings you from doubt into certainty, that's a scholar you need to follow. Who else? وَمِنَ الْكِبْرِ إِلَى التَّوَاضُعِ. Allahu Akbar. He'll bring you from your pride and your loftiness and your ignorance and your like cocky, being cocky to being humble. Scholars, a scholarly figure needs to be having that quality. Like when you see him, when you sit with him, you're gonna feel that. It's gonna rub on you. وَمِنَ الْكِبْرِ إِلَى التَّوَاضُعُ وَمِنَ الرِّيَاءِ إِلَى الْإِخْلَاصِ. This is important. From riya, from showing off, to truly for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can a scholar give that? By his own action. By his own action. You know, they say, action speaks louder, right? So, the action of the scholarly figure, when he does something, will have an effect on his people, on the people who are surrounding him, on his companion, on people who love him. When they see him, that he's truly, because why? Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Al-mar'u makhbu'un tahta lisaneh. Right? People are hidden under their tongue. From time to time, you see some people, they would say something that shows their true color. If you listen carefully, if you read between the lines, if it's written, you see that this person is not doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, he's doing it to be famous. So, from riya to ikhlas to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمِنَ الْعَدَاوَةِ إِلَى النَّصِيحَةِ وَمِنَ الرَّغْبَةِ إِلَى الزُّهْدِ. You know what? The problem that we have, some scholarly figure, they sit and start speaking against other scholars. So to make you or the people who they follow enemy against others, those you avoid. Those people who speak like that, maybe he has a lot of knowledge, yes, but he's dangerous. Why? Because he will fill you with rage against all the scholars. They say there was two scholars debating with common folks, like one visiting the other, and start debating. And all of a sudden, sometimes you know how some people, the debate get heated, the argument gets heated, and they start shouting. So one of the followers of one scholar, they ambushed the other scholar and killed him. Why? Because how can he come here? And they're not understanding what they're even saying between each other. That sometimes leads to animosity against your own brother. Against your own brother. I'm not talking about brother in faith, brother in deen. No. Your own brother from flesh and blood, from your, of course, there's a beautiful hadith that says that al-mu'min akhul mu'min min ummihi wa abih. That the mu'min is a brother of a mu'min from his own father and mother. But your brother that carries your father's name, let's say, you're going to have a problem with because of this. And وَمِنَ الرَّغْبَةِ إِلَى الزُّهْدِ. When you see him, when you talk to him, it doesn't talk about dunya. His way, his act. It's not about gathering this dunya. He sees dunya like Amir al-Mu'mineen sees the dunya, as a sneeze of a goat. عراق خنزير في يد مجذوم. He sees that dunya as like this. After moving from one prison to other, Harun put the Imam with someone that they themselves raised. He had no known father. He wasn't Arab. So he's not attached to a tribe and tribe rules. And Abu Ja'far al-Mansur raised him himself to be tough. And they sent him for their tough missions and espionage. His name was Sindi ibn Shahik. Shahik was the name of his mother, not his father. So he was a bastard. This person, unlike the others, put the Imam in a place the Persians, the Farsi, say about it, siyah chal, a black hole. A black hole. You know, dungeon, I think it's a fancy name. Prison is a fancy name because it's literally a black hole. They dig, and whoever been to Iraq knows the climate of Iraq, right? And knows how's the weather in Iraq. Imagine someone in a hole that's been described by Ali ibn Suwaid himself. Ali ibn Suwaid said that I bribed one of the gods and I came down and it's like I'm going to the core of the earth, on the bottom of the earth. And I stood there not knowing where is the Imam, because it was pitch dark, pitch black. There was nothing showing. You know, sometimes Imam would come, and Imam was shackled. And you know the shackle back in the day, and even sometimes you see that in the documentaries, they didn't put the shackle just on the legs. They put the shackle on your neck, on your shoulder, to immobilize you, to put you on your leg. That's one of the things that this person did. So Ali ibn Suwaid says, I was standing there not knowing where's the Imam. So I heard a voice of the Imam said, is that Ali ibn Suwaid? I followed the voice and I fell on the feet and the hand of Imam, kissing it. Yabna Rasulullah, is this happening to you? You are the descendant of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And then Imam recited and said that hadith, that's mu'min are like a scale. They say Sindi ibn Shahik sometimes hears the Imam's movements, and Imam trying to breathe. When you're in a hole in heat of summer, it's damp, it's hot, it's dark. So you just want to know, maybe the Imam Salamullah alayhi just wanted to see the sun, see the light. He would go and try to come, and Sindi ibn Shahik is there waiting for Imam, hitting the Imam on his face, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, returning back to, throwing him back to that hole again. Ali ibn Suwaid said to Imam, Ya ibn Rasulullah, mata al-faraj? When is the faraj, O ibn Rasulullah? When you will be released? When will we see you again? Imam Salamullahi alayhi said, Abligh shi'ati anni salam. Convey my salam, greeting to my Shia. Inshallah, this salam is to us, Ya ibn Rasulullah. He says, await me on the bridge of Baghdad on Friday. Ali ibn Suwaid said, I was filled with joy. I went to doors of the Shia one by one, the Muhabbin of Ahlul Bayt, the people of Baghdad. A lot of people, even though they are from different school of thought, they love Imam Musa al-Kazim alayhi salam, the descendant of Rasulullah, Hujjatullah. He said everyone was gathered there, awaiting the Imam Salamullahi alayhi. All of a sudden, we hear this voice, Hada Imam al-Rafidha. This is the Imam of the deniers. This is the Imam of the Rafidis. Come and look at him. He died. Ali ibn Suwaid, he said our joy and celebration turned into mourning. We were waiting to see the Imam, not the janazah of the Imam. Those people didn't even move the shackles of the Imam Salamullahi alayhi. He said, I went there and I started looking. I'm baffled to look at the face, beautiful face of Imam Salamullahi alayhi. There was no scars and no fold. There's nothing that showed there's something that happened, that Imam Salamullahi alayhi was killed by sword. But he said, I was doubtful. I saw a Christian man, a physician. I went to that physician. I told him, by the right of the Jesus, by the right of Isa ibn Maryam over you, come and look at our deceased. He came, he said that he started looking at his hand, and he turned to me and said, does this person has a tribe here? Does this person has a family here? He said, no, this person is gharib. He does not have anyone in this land, in this place. He said, why are you asking this? He said, because they need to ask for blood money, because Ibn Rasulullah was poisoned. I don't know what's happened in that last hours of Ibn Rasulullah, Musa al-Kazim, but usually people, when they are surrounded by their family, they stretch someone's leg, they put his hand to the side, they put him towards the Qibla. But Imam Salamullahi alayhi was alone, saying his Shahadatain and breathing his last breath. Waili alayk ya Aba Abdillah. Imam feet was withered from the shackles, but the whole body of Ibn Rasulullah, Imam Hussein, was crushed under the hooves of those horses. Imam Salamullahi alayhi body was intact. I wish the family of Imam Salamullahi alayhi maybe were there. The Shia wish that the family of the Imam were there. But we know what we don't wish. We wish that the family of Imam Hussein was not there, standing to see what's happening to Ibn Rasulullah. And not just this, they took them from one place to other while parading the head of Sayyid al-Shuhada in front of them on a long spear. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. اللهم إنا نسألك وندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله 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 يا الله. اللهم عجل ثم قرم في فرج صاحب العصر والزمان. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten the reappearance of our master صاحب العصر والزمان. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill our heart and our mind with the love of Ahlul Bayt and the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all mu'mineen and mu'minat the lawful wishes. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy. And all mu'mineen and mu'minat, especially we gathered here tonight for the mother of our dear brother Sayyid Ali. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gather her with Muhammad and Ali, Muhammad in the highest of the heaven. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on all mu'mineen and mu'minat. Give all mu'mineen and mu'minat who are in need of our dua their health back. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala release all prisoners who have been imprisoned unjustly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us on the path of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. And for all mu'mineen and mu'minat, al-Fatiha ma'a as-salawat.